Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is Crown and today we are going to have some more stories that I hope that you will enjoy. But before we start, it will be so much appreciated if you would subscribe to the channel, like the video if you enjoyed it, and maybe leave a comment down below. These simple clicks would mean a lot to the future of this channel and really reward the effort that I put in every day. And now, without further ado, let's go! I always enjoyed listening to these stories, but never have I ever thought that I would be contributing to this sub with a story of my own. I'm a laborer and have been working on a site near the countryside for the past few months, building a subdivision. And on the day I had traffic management duty. Basically, a co-worker and I were tasked to make sure that no cars crashed into each other while we worked on the road. But due to it being a rural area, the road we were working on was very quiet. Anyway, during the job, one of our trucks needed to enter the site, so my coworker flipped his sign to allow him to enter the site. I noticed a car coming from my side during this time, but I wasn't worried about it as the truck had priority as it arrived first. But before the truck had a chance to enter the site, the car sped past me on the opposite side of the cones, where cars usually wait for me to let them through. Even if I never swapped the sign around, I radioed my co-worker to let them know that a car I found out soon after that it was driven by an entitled Karen is coming towards them, and as I did this, she slowed down and yelled at my co-worker before speeding off. At this point, I was shocked. That just happened was all that I could think about. At this point, my foreman came over and asked me what happened. I told him about how the woman just ran my stop sign, and he asked me if I was sure that my sign was on stop. I told him that I was 100% sure, and he went to call the police and told me to let him know when she came back. After he left to continue work down the side, there was a period of nothing. During this time, I was thinking about what I would do if she did come back before we finished working on the road. When my coworker asked me through the radio if the upcoming car was her, I looked and informed them that it was in fact her when she ran through his stop sign. Now I was annoyed. She ran through 2 stop signs at this point. So when she was near, I walked up to her car and pointed my sign towards her in annoyance. She did slow down slightly, but she only said some unknown words as she still had her window up. And she sped off before I could let my foreman know that she came back. Now luckily we saw where she lived, as the site entrance was close to the end of the road. The foreman came back and we let him know that she ran another stop sign and that we knew where she lived. After a while, the police arrived, and my foreman went up to the police officer to give his statement on what was happening, and the officer went to talk to the Karen. After a bit, the officer came back to let my foreman know what the situation was, and she was issued the ticket. Hey guys, it's Crown. Hope you're doing well. I started a brand new channel called That One Story. It'll mostly include stories coming from different subreddits, but will definitely include some entitled people getting their comeuppance. I'll leave the link in the description below, so please subscribe to the channel to listen to the latest stories, cause I'll make sure to post videos on a daily basis. Thank you and have a great day. I have just started university in Swansea, Wales, UK. I live and grew up in London, England, and we don't get many Karens in the UK, especially in London, because people just don't have time for that stuff. That being said, I would have expected for it to be more likely to have this interaction in London as opposed to Swansea. When I came here, I assumed that being in a predominantly white area, I would encounter some racism being of South Asian descent with brown skin. But I was pleasantly surprised to find everyone is really nice and helpful, and much more welcome than London. There was one incident though in a Beefeater restaurant. It's like a weird restaurant with a pub/bar attached to a 3-hotel chain in the UK, where everyone was staring at me as I moved about, and I definitely felt the xenophobic vibes. Anyway, I'm at the big Tesco in town supermarket chain the company owns/owned Fresh and Easy in the US. And I'm buying some food and homewares like frying pans and stuff, and with that, I'm buying a load of alcohol for the flat. I'm talking about 2 bottles of Bailey's, large bottles of vodka and white rum, and some other stuff, plus Coke. It's not enough to fill a bar, but still a fair bit for one person to buy. As I'm paying at the till, the checkout, I have my driving license's ID ready to show the cashier. I'm 19, yet I have a pretty pippy-ish face and I'm pretty small, so I always expect to get ID'd. But for some reason, the guy doesn't ask to see my ID and I pay and start loading my shopping bag into my trolley. As I'm doing so, the woman behind me, with her teenager, maybe 15 or 17, starts speaking to the cashier. She was English, not Welsh, and the tone of her voice told me everything I needed to know immediately. Karen alert. She starts whining at/scolding him, asking why he didn't check my ID. The young cashier also seemed to realize this wasn't going to be fun interaction and responds saying that I have shopped here before and he knows that I'm of age. I don't know if that was BS or not though, because I don't recall seeing him before. The woman continues to berate him, telling him it sets a bad example to her kids because it shows him that he can get away with buying drinks underage and using fake IDs. If you see a situation like that, just teach your son not to do that. Don't come at me when you know no facts. At this point, I'm done loading my shopping and decide not to engage and leave. She instantly forgets the cashier and blocks my way, asking me to show her my ID and my bank card. I politely tell her that she has no right, and then she loses her mind. She doesn't scream or raise her voice significantly, but her tone becomes incredibly aggressive, and she starts pointing her finger at me and accusing me of buying alcohol whilst underage. I tell her I'm of age and have every right to purchase what I just did, and if she has an issue, she can go find the manager because she, a fellow customer in the store, has no jurisdiction over me. The cashier himself decides to call for a manager and apologizes to me. I notice the kid now and he gives me a stern look, but I'm pretty sure it was just a side with his mom and that he was also uncomfortable about the whole ordeal. The manager comes over and asks the cashier what's wrong, and lo and behold, the unbearable witch interrupts the lad and starts berating the manager. The manager listens a little, stops her for a second, and turns to me and asks for ID. I give it to him, he checks it, he's happy, but as he goes to hand it back, the woman snaps at him with an expectant look on her face and says something like, "Sorry, but I'd like to check it myself." Not even a please. He gives it back to me anyway, which triggers a visible storm of anger within her, and she then proceeds to block his way and starts scolding him about poor customer service, illegal business activity, and so on. The cashier tells me to leave and I do so, because it's 9 PM and I really can't be bothered to deal with this. I later, on another trip to the store, was informed that the woman was kicked out and banned for how she treated everyone. There was a dog trying to park cars at 40 miles per hour on the road. I put on my emergency blinkers and pulled over to see if I could do anything. The minivan behind me was so impatient that they crossed a double yellow on the blind curve to pass me. They almost caused a head-on. When they swerved to avoid, they bounced off my car, contacted the rear corner of the passing car, almost squashed the dog, and caused a giant multi-car accident. When the motion stopped and everyone was okay, the minivan Karen tried to blame me, saying that I slammed on my brakes for no reason. I had pulled over normally. When the police arrived to take statements, this lady was doing everything she could to cast blame on me, including having her passengers lie. I had a not-so-secret weapon. When they came for my statement, I gave it, and then offered to show them my dashcam footage. They were very appreciative that I had it. The footage clearly shows Karen tailgating, illegal lane departure, and absolute culpability in the entire accident. They were so fed up with the still screaming Karen and were now armed with evidence. They told her to shut up, and when she of course could not shut up, she got arrested for terroristic threats, assaulting an officer, and some other things they threw in. Very satisfying. Get yourself a dashcam, an expensive investment with a huge payout. Oh, and the dog got so scared from the huge crash that I saw him dig back under his fence and go back home. This just happened and I can't believe the absurdity of the conversation I had. Today is my sister's birthday, 19, and in the past few months she's gotten into anime and manga. I, male 24, decided to buy her some manga for her birthday. The current ones she's reading are Demon Slayer and Spy X Family, and she also said she wanted to start Full Metal Alchemist. She's currently out with her friends, and so after I dropped her off, I went to a bookstore to pick up some manga. I know, last minute shopping. The problem was, when I got to the store, there was only one copy of the Full Metal Volume 1, and the rest was 8 onwards. I grabbed it, as well as the next volumes of the other 2 mangas she was reading. I was about to head to the cashier when I felt someone tap my shoulder.
Excuse me?
Yes?
Is that Full Metal Alchemist Volume 1?
Yep.
Do you think I could have it? My son has seen it and that's the last copy at the store. Plus you have the other comics too.
Oh, sorry about that. But I'm buying this for my sister as a birthday gift. You could order the book online, either from the store or Amazon. I ignored the comics part because a lot of people who don't know the difference consider them the same.
Why would your sister want to read comic books? They are for boys.
No. First off, there are manga, which are Japanese style of comics.
Yeah, are you going to give me the book or not?
No, I told you, I'm buying this as a birthday gift for my sister. Have a good day.
But no, comics are for boys. And if you buy them for your sister, you're taking the opportunity to read those comics away from other boys.
Okay. And I start to walk away. The entitled mother rushed in front of me and tried to grab the book from me. But I pulled it back. Lady, what the hell is wrong with you? I told you I'm buying these for my sister. Now get the hell out of my way and let me buy them.
No, comics are for boys. I bet your sister is some ugly girl trying to impress some boy that she's into comics since her looks don't work.
At this point, I was ready to release a tirade of insults on her for insulting my sister, when an employee happened to walk by and noticed. Hello, is there a problem here?
Yes, this person won't give me the comic even though it's the last copy. I was going to buy it for my son.
Yeah, and I'm buying it as a gift for my sister's birthday. Plus, even if I wasn't, I got it first. I even told you alternative options.
No, comics are for boys. Now give it to me.
She made another attempt to grab the book, but I moved back. The employee then spoke. Ma'am, I'm going to have to ask you to leave him alone. If you continue to harass him, I'll have to call security.
But…
No buts. Sir, I can escort you to the checkout if you'd like. As I'm walking to the checkout, I heard the entitled mother call out.
I hope your stupid sister has a terrible birthday.
And I say, she'll probably have a better day than your son, since she got the book and he didn't. She turned red and left. After paying for the manga and thanking the employee who helped, I left and saw the entitled mother outside talking on the phone. She saw me and flipped me off. I simply laughed, showed her the manga I purchased, and left. Imagine trying to gatekeep something that you don't read, and on behalf of another gender. Some people are just nuts. And now we have reached the end of today's stories. Thank you for watching and see you next time.